This video is going to work on more mixed exponent practice. Well, that's the title of it. But we're going to apply the rules of exponents and try and practice simplifying with the rules of multiplying, dividing, and power to a power. All right, first one on this one right here. Remember that this means that everything inside the parentheses is to the second power. So that's the same as writing 7a times 7a. Well, when you multiply these together, 7 times 7 is 49. A times A, oh, why did I write a 4a? Silly me. Okay, it is 49. And then A squared. And the squared comes because this is 1a and 1a. And you're trying to add those together. Well, if I did it by the rules of exponents up here, this would be, to power, this would be 7 squared. And then a to the first power to the second power, which would still give me 49a squared. Try the next one. On this one, this is the same as saying negative 4c and doing it 3 times, which will give you, you take negative 4 times negative 4, which is 16, then 16 times negative 4, which should be negative 64, and then you have c, 1c, 2c, 3c, c to the third power. That's the same up here as writing negative 4 to the third power times c to the third power, which negative 4, if you put in the calculator, make sure you put in parentheses, negative 4 caret 3 to the third power, enter, it'll give you negative 64. So that's again negative 64 c to the third. Next one. I don't even know if you heard that because the microphone was way down there. The next one right here, this is the same as 5 to the second power, then a power to a power, 1 times 2, x squared. So this is 25x squared. Number 4. Try this one. Actually, let me see something. I don't think that, you know what, this 5 is not supposed to be here, so ignore that. Now try that problem. That should be a lot better. Okay, in this case, you're going to take negative 3 to the fourth power, and then this is x to the fourth power. So negative 3 to the fourth power, if you go to your calculator, you're going to put in there parentheses, negative 3 caret 4. You're going to do that whenever it's in a negative, just so that the calculator does it right for you. That's going to be 81. So my answer is going to become 81 x to the fourth power. Number 5. Try this one and come back and see how you do. In this one, leave the 2 alone. We'll do that at the end. So let's do this part right here. So this is 4 to the third power, which is the same as 4 times 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. 16 times 4 is 64, but you can also just put that in the calculator and find it out. So I have 64, and then this is k squared to the third power, which is k to the sixth. Then all of this is times 2. This is when you bring down the times 2. So now you do 2 times 64, which is 128 k to the sixth. This would be your answer. Number 6, try this the same way as what we just did the last one. So first you're going to do this part here. So I'm going to take negative 3 to the third power. I think we already did this, didn't we? Yeah. Oh, no, that's 4. So I've got negative 3 caret third power to the third power, enter. I get negative 27. Okay, so the 9 is still going to be down here. I'm going to have 9, and I've got negative 27. And then y to the third power to the third power, 3 times 3 is 9. y to the ninth. Now multiply these two, just like the distributive property here. 9 times negative 27. Negative 27 times 9 gives me negative 243. So my answer becomes negative 243 y to the ninth. Number 7. Try this one and come back and see how you do. All right, again, do the exponent part first. So I'm going to leave the 4 down here, and I'm going to write what's supposed to go inside. So I have 3 to the third power. That's 3 times 3 times 3, which we just found to be 27. A to the second power to the third power. So 2 times 3 is 6. So this becomes a to the sixth. B has an exponent of 1. 1 times 3 is 3. B to the third power. Now you just multiply the 4 and the 27. Let's see. 27 times 4, 8, 2, 108. 108. A to the sixth. B to the third. Try number 8. Okay, on number 8, you've got 2 to the fourth power. You got to take that to the fourth power. So I put in there 2, caret 4, enter. That gives me 16. So this becomes 16. Then I have the 3rd to the 4th power, which is r to the 12th. 4 times 4, so this is s to the 16th. There's number 9. Try number 9. First on number 9, you're going to go through and you're going to do this part first. 2 to the second power is 4. 1 times 2 is 2, so I have x squared. And I'm going to do the second part now. 2 to the 4th power. So I'll go in the calculator and put in there 2, caret 4. The biggest mistake is people tell me it's 8. That's not it. It's 16 because it's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. So it's 16 x to the 4th. Now multiply 4 and 16. You get 64. And you'll add the exponents. X to the 6th. This is your answer. Next one, try this one, just like the last one we just did. Okay, I'm going to first do what's inside this parentheses. I have 10 to the 3rd power. So I'm going to go 10, caret 3, press enter, and I get 1,000. So I have 1,000. This is b to the 1st power. 1 times 3 is 3. B to the 3. Now this is the exact same thing. So I'm going to multiply it times 1,000. B to the 3rd. Multiply your coefficients. So if you take 1,000 times 1,000, you get, there we go, you get 1,000,000. Okay, because you can put that in the calculator and find it, or you add the zeros on there. B, and you add the exponents, b to the 6th. That would be your answer. Number 11. Try this one and come back and see how you do. Do this parentheses first. 3 to the 3rd power. 3 times 3 is 9. Times 3 is 27. So I have 27. A to the 2nd power to the 3rd power. 2 times 3 is 6. A to the 6th. B to the 1st power. 1 times 3. B to the 3rd. That's what's in this first one. Then I'll multiply it with 2, a to the 3rd power b. 27 times 2, 54. Add up my a's. I've got 6 and I've got 3, so this is a to the 9th. I've got 3 b's and this is a 1b, so I've got b to the 4th. Here's the next one. Here's number 12. Try this one. On this one again, first parentheses, 3 to the third power. We already found it to be 27. Is this the same problem? Kind of close. All right. X to the third power, or x squared to the third power. 2 times 3 is 6. X to the 6. Y to the 1. 1 times 3. Y to the first, or I'm sorry, 1 times 3 is 3. Times 2xy. 27 times 2. 54. X to the 6, x to the first. That would be x to the 7th power. Y to the third, y to the first. That would be y to the 4th. Number 13. Here we are multiplying, so we have the same basis. So we keep the y, and all we do is we add the exponents. That's because y to the third means there's 3 of them. Y to the 5th means there's 5 of them. How many total y's are there? 8. Here's the next one. Dividing. When you're dividing your bases, that means you subtract the exponents. This should be x to the third. Next one. Try this one. All right, b's. We have 6 minus 3, so I have b to the third power. C's, 5 minus 2, c to the third power. That would be your answer right here. Subtract, when you're dividing, subtract the exponents. There's the next one. In this one, if we subtract the exponents, I get m to the 0 power. Anything to the 0 power is 1. There's no m. The whole m goes away. And the reason why this happens is m squared is m times m over m squared. Well, these divide each other out. These divide each other out. This is the same as saying, what's 2 divided by 2? 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. There's the next one. When you have this, you take your coefficients and treat them like you normally would. You take 16 divided by 4, which is 4. Treat those exactly like you would, like the dividing. You only subtract the exponents. 4 minus 3 is 1, so the answer to this one is 4x. Here's the next one. Pause video, take a minute and try and answer this one. Here you're going to take 27 divided by negative 3. You get negative 9. Now, this is 4 and 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. The 4a's cancel out the 4a's, so they go away. The b's, 6 minus 3, I get b to the third because 6 minus 3 is 3. C's are in up the top and bottom. 9 minus 2 is 7. C to the 7th. That's your answer. Here's the next one. Take a minute and do this one. This is a power to a power. So remember, I've got x to the third to the fourth. So you're going to take 3 times 4. So I'm going to get x to the 12th. Y 2 to the 4th. 2 times 4 is 8. That should have been your answer. There's the next one. Pause the video and try this one. On this one, I've got a base of x, 3 to the 5th power. So I take 3 times 5, which is 15. Then I have y, 2 to the 5th power. 2 times 5 is 10. This would be your answer. Number 21, pause the video and come back and see how you did. Power to a power. X squared to the 4th power. 2 times 4 is x to the 8th. Y to the 1st power. 1 times 4, y to the 4th power. That's your answer. There's number 22. The 2 is outside of it, so leave the 2 here. Now I've got y to the 4th power to the 5th power. So take 4 times 5. So we get y to the 20th. That's your answer because there's no other coefficient to multiply 2 with. There's number 23. Take a minute and pause the video and do this one. Okay, on this one here, you have 2 to the 5th power. 2 to the 5th power. So as I go to the calculator, I'm put in there 2, caret 5, press enter, and I get 32. So this becomes 32. And then I have y to the 4th power to the 5th power. 4 times 5 is 20. Y to the 20th. That would be my answer. Here's the next one. Pause the video and come back and see how you do. 6 is out here by itself. Now do what is inside the parentheses. 2 to the 5th power. Did we just do that one? Yes, we did. 2 to the 5th power we just found to be 32. So I have 32 inside here. Then 4 times 5 is y to the 20th. Now multiply 6 times 32. Okay, 32 times 6. 2 and a 1, 18, 19, 192. Y to the 20th. That should be your answer. Number 25, pause the video, come back and see how you do. On this one thing I noticed right here, 3 over 9. A lot of people tell me, look at your paper, did you put down 3? This is a fraction. And if you don't, one of the things, remember in the calculator you can go 3, divide 9, and press enter. It will show you it's a decimal. And if you press math, enter, enter, it will change it to the fraction. It will reduce it for you. This is 1/3. Now, x divides out in x. Y's divide each other out in z. Your answer is just 1/3. 26. Take a minute and do this one. First thing I see, this is just sitting here in the parentheses, but I see y to the 0 power. Anything to the 0 power, see this changes into just a 1. Well, that's the same as 2x squared times 1. So your answer is 2x squared. Here's the next one. Pause the video and come back and see how you do. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply these two parentheses first. 5 times 4 is 20. X times x, that's x squared. And there's only that one y, so that stays there. All right, so you have all this now. And now you bring down that other parentheses. And you get x, xy squared. Okay, so for on this one, 20 still stays here because there's a 1 in front of here. So 1 times 20 is 20. I have 2 x's and 1 x. That's x to the 3rd power. 1 y and 2 y's, y to the 3rd power. That is your answer. 20x cubed, y cubed. All right, there's 28. You can take a minute and see if you can figure out what this is. First it says, find the volume of a cube, which has a side length of 3xy squared. So remember, a cube, all the sides are the same. Okay? So as I'm drawing my little cube, I know straight lines, not my forte here. I'm off a little bit over there, but that's all right. You get the point. All right, to find volume, it's length times width times height. Well, if all of those are the same, you can write it a couple different ways. You can do it this way. Length times width times height. Or you could write it like this, since they're all the same, 3xy squared, all to the third power. Both of these things right here mean the same thing. To find your answer, 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27. Well, that's the same as right here, 3 to the third power. Then I have 1, 2, 3 x's, x to the third power. There's a 1 right here. 1 times 3 is 3. 2, 4, 6, y to the 6th power, because 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, so your answer is 27 x squared y to the 6th. That would be your volume. Here's the next one. Try and figure out this one. This one says find the height. I'd like that height. Anyway, find the height of a rectangular prism if the area of the base is 12 x to the third y and the volume is 36 x to the fifth y squared. Okay, to find volume of a rectangular prism, it is big B times the height. Well, it's giving us the volume. The volume is 36 x to the fifth y squared. It's giving you the base, 12 x to the third y, but we want to know the height. So if we set it up like this, the whole idea is that to find the height, we have to divide by 12 x to the third y. So what we're doing, cross these out. So to find my height, I'm going to divide 36 x to the fifth y squared by 12 x to the third y. First, you're going to take 36 divided by 12. That's going to give me 3. Then subtract your exponents, x to the second power. Then y squared minus y to the first power, that just gives me a y. So my height is 3x squared y. All right, here's the next ones. Now, you're trying to figure out what the question mark is in each one of these. See, like here, this is a power to a power. So remember, you have to multiply these to get this. So 2 times what is 6? 2 times 3. So your answer right here, this would be a 3. So what would you do in number 31? It's a power to a power, so you have to multiply. What times 3 gives you 12? Well, in this case, this would be a 4. Your answer to 31 would be 4. What about this one? If you can't see it, that's an 8 right there. So again, a power to a power. 2 times what gives you 8? This should be a 4. So your answer to this one would be 4. What about 33? Again, a power to a power. So you're going to go 4 times what gives you 12? This should be a 3. Excuse me. There's the next one, 34. This is saying n to the 9th times what gives you 1. Well, what is anything to what power is 1? Anything to the 0 power. So this would have to be 0 because that would make it n to the 0 power, which is 1, because anything to the 0 power is 1. Here's the next one. These 7s, they're still there. They're the same. So now I'm just worrying about the power to a power. 1 times what gives you 8? This should be 8. Here's 36. This one says 5x to something to the second power gives you 25. All right, well, 5 to the second power, that gives you 25. So that's okay. X to the what to the second power gives you 6. So what times 2 gives you 6? That question mark, you should have gotten a 3. The last one, right here. Well, you've got 7c to the something equals just 7. Well, 7 times what would just give you 7? It need to be 7 times 1. Well, what does the exponent up here need to be to make that the c a 1? You guessed it, it's a 0, because that would be 7c to the 0 power, which would be 7 times 1, which would give you 7.